Looks like this thing is not open. 1 second. Excuse me. Okay. Om Pranaya Namaha Namo
Om Pranaya
Pranaya
Namo.
Namo.
Yasya Sarvamidam Vashe
Yasya
Sarva
Sarvamidam Vashe.
Midam Vashe.
Yo Bhutah Sarvasyeshvaro
Yo
Yo
Bhutah
Bhuta
Sarvasyeshvaro.
Sarvasvaro.
Yasmin Sarvam Pratishtitam
Yasmin
Yasmin
Sarvam
Sarvam
Pratishtitam.
Pratishtitam.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om
Om
Shanti
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 Shanti.
Shanti.
Okay. Any questions from last time?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
one.
Go ahead.
So I got a little confused between the third and the fourth one,
Mhm.
where in the third one we said that Vayana was the Agni, that it was similar to the cooking Agni in the sense that it spreads the energies and things like that. But in the fourth one, again, Samana seemed to have a similar definition.
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. Your confusion is absolutely right. So this Samam Nayati over there uh, is the same as what was said for Samana earlier. But again, we are talking of ahutis. That is the incoming, the inhalation and the exhalation. So that kind of doesn't fit in very well with Samana, because Saman was related to the digestive process. Now, but probably what you are getting confused with is the reverse, that Anvaharya Pachana Agni is related to digestive process. And so, how is that Vyana? So, Anvaharya Pachana Agni is actually used as required. So similarly, Vyana spreads to all parts of the body, and then each part, the amount of energy that it requires, it draws out of the blood. Vyana is basically related to the circulatory system, blood circulatory system. So the blood will circulate everywhere, but only that much which is required is taken out, just like from the Garapati Agni, we take out the Anvaharya and use it
How
just,
much was
that much food which is required for the family, that is cooked, and rest is then again the Agni is put off.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, there are two aspects to the circulatory systems, as we know in modern science, right? One is the taking of the prana element, which is the oxygen to the cells, and the second one is carrying of the food to the cells. So looks like between them, Vyana and Samana do these two.
Yeah, but actually in the previous chapter we had seen that Samana was directly linked to Annapachan. So the consumption of the digestion of food, I should say. So there it was very clear, and Vyana was given as something which is Vyapak.
So here also Samana might be like the conversion of different types of food materials into a samana form, like a
Yeah,
common form.
yeah,
It
yeah.
might mean
But
that. no?
it's linked with inhalation and exhalation. That is the issue which I find why should that have been mentioned per se. Ahutis were generally taken as anahuti, in which case it would be okay. But here it is taken as breath ahuti. So there we have to take it as that energy of the breath is being used also for the digestive process.
Possible. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a possible explanation. Okay, any other question is there? Any other
I have one question, Uttara. Sorry for joining late.
no issues.
um,
No issues.
This prana, I was thinking that is the most important thing.
Hmm.
Okay. But when it comes to this, when describing apana, it says that that is the inhalation process, or the, the taking, and it, there it looks like it's prana is just equal to all the, other pranas, one among the others. Though prana is, said to be the exhaling or the exhalation process. How
Yeah.
do you explain that? Is that my confusion correct, or what?
See, as per modern science, we are used to seeing inhalation as more important and exhalation as less important. And anyway, you should not see one prana as more important as the other, because actually all of them are important. Okay, so one can almost say they're equally important. Probably prana is put as the name which applies to all, because um, it is the last to go, and presumably it is also the first to come in. I cannot say the last statement, I cannot say for sure, but definitely it is the last breath which leaves our body. Okay, so possibly because of that, prana is put at the top and all the others are put below. But if you see the description, all of them are important.
Okay. So combine everything combined together, also you can look at it as prana.
Yes, yes. Also, one reason could be, now here I'm guessing, okay, so you have to take it with that pinch of salt. That see, it says pra an. Okay, so pra means in a specific way, in a particular fashion, and an means breathing. So this is a breath which is in a particular fashion. Okay, vishesh. So that is applicable for all. While when you say apan, then that applies only for the one which is getting removed. Vyana means which is spread out, and udana which means going up, and samana which means which is doing something equally somewhere. Okay, so they all have very specific connotations, while prana has a kind of a generic connotation.
Yeah.
It
So,
may have been selected for that purpose.
okay, I get that now, how to place it. So it's more the one way when you describe it, it's more like a functional description, but the whole thing is prana. And when you say prana as part of a functional description, it is the exhalation. Is that correct?
Exhalation,
To understand
yes.
that?
Correct,
Oh.
correct, exactly. This is a normal
Okay.
Sanskrit process which was followed, in which one of the elements of a set represented all the elements in a set. And typically
Correct.
it was a most important one, but not necessarily.
Okay.
Oh, like pranadi. Hmm.
No, even in If you are studying Ashtadhyayi, I don't know if you have tried, but there are a lot of cases. For example, Nadi will include everything plus Nadi. So, like that. I'll tell you later. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So, any other question or insight is there? No. Okay. Let's do a recap quickly. Ata Hanam Soryayani Gargyaha.
Okay, I
I
will start
can-
off. Easy one for me.
Okay.
Oh, Bhagini, go ahead, Bhagini.
It's okay. It's okay.
Anuj should never have easy ones.
No, okay, let me take it up then. I will take up the challenge.
No,
Atahainam
no.
Sauryayani Gargyaha Prapacha. So Ata he means after the previous question answer session, enticed by the thread that is opened up so far. In that sense, Enam Sauryayani Gargyaha. Enam refers to the Rishi Pippalada. To him, the Shishya Sauryayani Gargya asked. Okay, these questions start off the trail of questions. So Bhagavan, hey Bhagavan, etasmin purushe kani swapanti. So in this embodied man, what are the things that sleep? Okay, of course we know that
Embodied
the
soul.
question
Embodied soul.
embodied soul. Sorry, embodied soul. What elements sleep? That means there is a acceptance of this concept of a deva, which are layers of our consciousness, something like that. Maybe you
No,
can
no,
say.
no, 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 no.
Okay. Huh?
No. Devas
Indriyas.
are five
Jnanendriyas.
Pancha Mahabhuta,
Indriyas.
the 10
Yeah.
Indriyas and Pancha Prana as well.
Panchaprana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because whatever happens later in the dream state is entirely in the mind. So I was thinking a little bit into the layers of consciousness, also extending that way. But anyway,
no.
But
that's okay.
mind is a
Mind is also
Jnanendriya
a
and
deva, right?
Karmendriya, no? It is both.
Mind
So
is
Mana
also a
included.
deva.
Yeah.
But
Mana
in
is
the
a deva
dream,
too.
it embodies everything else itself. That's what. Okay. Kani asmin jagarti. So, which are the ones that keep awake despite being in sleep state? Kattara esha devaha swapnan pashyati. So, amongst these, which particular deva sees the various dreams? Who is the enjoyer of dreams? That kind of question. Kasya etat sukham bhavati. So, who actually gets the enjoyment out of this particular aspect? Okay. Of course, sukham includes dukkham, always we know. Kasmin nu sarve sampratishtitaha bhavanti iti. So in this way, where all these various devas, like you explain the Indriyas and the Jnana Karmendriyas, they establish themselves in this particular dream state. So all his question integrally is about the dream state. Or sorry, about the sleep state.
Sleep
Yeah.
state. Yes.
Yeah, I want to say, actually, Anuj put it beautifully, saying that sukha or enjoyment includes dukkha also, because when I read this, I was thinking, always the dreams are not something that's enjoyable as such. You do wake up from, dreams that are scary, dreams
Nightmares
that
or-
you don't want to think about,
Correct.
and all that. But while explaining, he put it beautifully, saying that includes dukkha also.
No, Bhagini has always taught us that everything has two sides to the coin, right? So when one is quoted, we have to remember the other. Never unfalteringly, we have to remember the other.
But in this
But-
particular case, actually, that doesn't work because here this sukha is referring to the relaxation which sleep provides. So what it's actually not about the dream state itself, but it is
Okay.
about sleep that this at the end of a good sleep you feel refreshed. So who is
Refreshed.
which of these devas is actually enjoying that refreshment, that relaxation? So it
Okay.
is only sukha over here. Okay, you can actually include dukkha in case the sleep was bad, then who is the one who is suffering? So that is also there.
Correct.
Yes, it applies here.
So
as
it doesn't refer to the dream, but it refers to the benefits that you get from the
sleep,
sleep.
the whole sleep cycle.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, tasmai sa uvacha.
I can say,
I can take.
okay, Prashanti. No problem.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So then Maharshi Pippalad is answering the question, saying just like at the time of the sunset, how all the rays kind of go into the sun itself. Same way, when one sleeps, all the indriyas kind of submerge into the mind. That's why almost like indriyas go into a paralyzed state where it does not hear anything. So that's why we do not hear a thing, we do not smell, or here he actually na pashyati, na shrunoti, we don't hear, na pashyati, it does not see, na jigrati, does not smell, na rasayate, does not taste, or does not touch. So, and it does not enjoy, or it does not enjoy anything. So that is what he is explaining in the second verse.
In the you missed one
Navisrujate.
key.
I mean,
one-
none of the karmendriyas also work.
Correct.
That
So
is what it
abhivadate speaks, nadate.
Yeah.
Nadate is what?
Na abhivadate, nadate. So it
does not receive.
yeah, it does not perceive anything, and it does not, like,
You see,
the
this,
excretory system is not working. Pardon?
This adati is for the hands, pani.
Yeah.
So adati is not for perceive, it is for receive, grasp. So it does not grasp. Abhivadate vak, speak.
Right.
Nananda.
So first he talks about all the gyanendriyas, and then he talks about all the karmendriyas, right?
Correct.
You missed one important aspect of this verse, Bhagini.
Okay, when you wake up, they all come back to life. Is it the one?
Exactly.
this is
Yeah,
called
that
sleeping.
cyclicity, that
Yeah.
daily cyclicity of
Yeah.
Correct. Good point.
Correct.
Okay. So pranagnya evatasmin pure jagrati. Srividya, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So this is where he's talking. He's comparing the body to a home in which there used to be 3 types of agnis. One is the grahapatya agni, which is kind of lit with grahapatya agni, which is kind of lit with great difficulty, maybe in those days by striking 2 stones.
Bhagini, you are pronouncing it as graha. It is garha. That's what you're spending on.
Garhapatya.
Oh, garhapatya. Okay, thank you. So that one is the one that continuously burns, right? And that is compared to the apana prana. Okay. And the next one is the cooking fire that we discussed, and I was so confused about, which is compared to the vayana. And the third one, that is the prana, which is actually called by the apana, and hence it is avaniha, avaniha agni. And so it's like typically compared to the agnihotra that they used to do, the havan that they used to do it, which is like called and done. Similarly, since the apana calls the prana, so they are kind of equating or comparing these 3 together as such. So that's what this is about.
Yeah, and Anva Arya Pachano Agni also is being taken from the Garapatya only. So that is also brought from the Garapatya.
So this Garhapatya is the origin from something
Grahapati.
that's there in the house.
Grahapati, yeah. Okay, so next one.
Called Adi Vriddhi.
Yes.
When you do the Tadditanta, you do Adi Vriddhi.
Yeah. So probably this is Yan Pratyaya. Then Yaduchwasa Nishwasa Nishwasa Veta Vahuti.
Who is taking?
Shanta, you want to take?
Oh, not me.
Acha.
I'm less than LKG here. So
Can I attempt? I mean, I've just kind of read the
Sure, go ahead.
commentary, but let me try. So,
Yeah.
we are talking of the exhalation. This is verse number 4. So we are talking about the exhalation and the inhalation process, and why they are so they are being referred to as ahutis in the body. And why they are referred to as ahutis, that one gives rise to the other. I mean, this is involuntary. I mean, so the moment you breathe in, you will breathe out. And once you breathe out, you have to breathe in. So one leads to the other, and therefore the inhalation gives rise to the exhalation, or gives into exhalation, and vice versa. So that is one. And whatever we have taken, the air that we have taken, whatever we have inhaled, that is distributed to the body, and that is called the saman prana, right? And the man, or the mind and intellect, is the one that organizes this sacrifice, because it is then that our faculties are functional, the inhalation and the exhalation. And it is called the yajman, right? I don't know
Yajaman.
why it's called
Yajaman.
So yeah,
Owner.
yajman. So that I'm not clear. And
No, it's very easy. You see, every yajna has a
yeah.
yajamana, one who conducts the whole, one who is in
I see.
charge of the whole
Okay.
thing, who is
Okay.
paying for everything essentially.
Okay,
Also.
so the mind is the yajman, is the conductor of the orchestra,
He may
and
not be the conductor, in the sense that the Ritvik
actually do it.
is actually the
Yeah.
person who is involved in the process. But this
Okay.
is the person who organizes it, who says, I want this Havan to be done. So
Okay. Okay.
he gives the command that perform this yajna.
Okay, and so the result of this sacrifice is the udan, and that takes the yajman or the man to the Brahman soul every day. That is what I have gathered.
Yeah.
In verse
So
4.
anybody wants to explain this last bit in particular a little more in detail?
Yeah,
How-
little bit actually. I found it intriguing. It's beautiful. This I like this last phrase.
Yeah.
See, whereas we think this udana is only at play in the final moksha at death. No, not so. He's saying udana is at play every day as long as a proper Aryan you're conducting your yajnas. So here, in sense, the body is conducting the daily activities. The mana is the yajamana, and the udana is active every day for the daily touching of the internal God, which is Atman. And then there is this ultimate Brahman reach, of course, in the end. That's the sense I got.
So Brahma here, I would suggest that you don't take it as God. Okay, because
Not as God, not as God, as the super soul. I got it.
no, that is God only. So soul only. So it takes the all these devas to the soul. Okay, because Udana cannot take you to Brahma. And the next Kandika also shows very clearly that we are talking about the soul. So you should not, I feel, confuse it with Brahma being God. And also Udana, you must not take it as some intermittent kind of a prana. As I told you, what the previous chapters indicated, that the circulation in the head being more important than the rest of the body, the circulation of the head is considered, is called Udana. So we had read about these so many, what, 72,000 into 100 into 100, etc. nadis which are there, and the one which goes up takes the udana. So we had seen that that was the carotid artery, and that is probably what is being referred to. So if you actually look at a little more detail in the brain, you will see that there is a circle which forms right under the brain. You know, you have the brain like that. So under this over here, there is a little circle which is formed, which is called, I don't know, Wheeler circle or something. I'm just forgetting the name. That is responsible for the blood supply within the brain. So this whole circulation in the brain is very peculiar. It is not like the rest of the body, and in fact, there is supposed to be a blood-brain barrier, and while the blood directly runs over the cells in the body, it's not directly so in a lot of regions of the brain. So there is a difference in the blood flow over there. So that circulation in the brain is actually Udana.
Lovely, lovely.
Thank you. Okay, Atrasha Devaha Swapne Mahimanam Anubhavati.
I could try.
Yeah, go ahead, Prashanti.
So this mind, which is like let's say the super god, he is the one who is experiencing all the dreams, if I have to say, in the dream sleep state. And
Who is the
he
super god?
goes to the
Who is the super god?
mind.
Mind, okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
so first remove these words which have no meaning. God, super god. As I told
Okay,
you, Deva, don't translate it into God, because God
Right.
has a connotation in our brains, and we immediately think of somebody with an image. So
Right.
don't call it. You call it Deva or element, which is neutral.
Okay, Deva. Let us stick to Deva. I think because that's what he calls like.
Yeah.
So he is a very important Deva, if I have to say at this point of time. And then he sees in the dream, which he had not seen anything before, and what it has seen, what it has not seen, what it has heard, what it's not heard, what it has experienced, what it has not experienced, and he becomes that experience as well. Sarvaha pashyati. So it becomes the I'm saying, but mana. It becomes the experience as well. So here I have so it sees everything and it becomes everything is what I understood. Am I right?
Yeah, so it actually functions as a Jnanendriya as well as a Karmendriya. Okay.
So is it like thought only?
Thought
The dream
only.
is
Yeah,
like like it's a thought only, right? Like how in a waking state we call it as a thought. In a sleep state, probably we call the thought dream, right?
Well, the difference there is that it's like a movie. So in a thought, you will generally be reasoning or contemplating on something. But here, a sequence of events happens. So that sequence of events is as if you are seeing a movie going on. So that is the difference in a normal thought process and a dream process.
So in the dream process, probably the intellect doesn't play the role.
No.
Is that
No, that is not correct. Intellect is the one which is connecting these things together. Okay, so I wanted to cover this part. I think I have not done with new students that the mind has 4 parts. Did I cover the 4 parts? I think I have not covered.
Yeah, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar.
Yeah, you
that
introduced
we
the
know.
chart and
Mano,
did
Buddhi,
that in the
Ahankar,
beginning.
Chitta.
Yeah, so I don't know if I have given the details. So mana is the one which accepts inputs, stimuli from the senses, and then filters out, selects one, hands it over to buddhi for analysis. Now buddhi is the one which decides, okay, this is actually this. So I'm looking at a rose, a red rose. Now all this raw input goes in through my eyes to mana. Mana determines that, okay, all the other things like the sound I'm making while breathing or some other sounds which are there in the thing are less important. We have to focus on this red rose. So it eliminates all the other stimuli, selects this one which I am focusing on, hands it over to buddhi. Buddhi now looks at chitta, which is the stored
Chitta.
memory, and it now does a search in that stored memory and gets color red and rose, what it looks like. It maps it onto this, does a pattern matching, decides that yes, this is a red rose. Now it hands, now it decides, okay, with some inputs from the soul, that I would like to smell this rose. So then it will inform the mana that smell this rose. So mana will then make my head bend towards the rose. So it will send stimuli, impulses to the karmendriyas to perform the action.
Right.
So buddhi will again inform what the man should be doing. Ahankar in the middle of all this will give us an idea of what is me and what is something else during this whole process, which is also very important. We need to know where I end and where something else starts, because actually this is not me. This is also part of the environment only, but the ahankar gives this information to the soul that you are till here and beyond this is the environment. So that differentiation is constantly provided by ahankar. So even in the dream, when you associate that this image is me, that is being provided by ahankar. So ahankar is also at play. Buddhi will give you the actual sequence of events. Mana will give the sensations.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that clear now?
Mm-mm. No, when you said it doesn't contemplate on things and all that, so I was kind of looking at like will the intellect not play much of a role? But I understand the all four quadrants of the mind are at play even when you are in dream state.
Yes, yes, because buddhi does not mean only reasoning and analysis and so on.
Correct.
It also
Correct,
means
correct.
niche, determining what
Yeah.
something is. Okay,
Correct.
so now we have little bit of time left in this session. I want to ask you questions now. So which are the devas which go to sleep in the sleeping state?
The
Jnanendriyas and the
Karmendriyas.
karmendriyas.
Other than the mana, I think everything
Mana,
else.
other than the mana, everything else.
Great, wonderful. I'm happy.
Pancha pranas are at play, right? Pranas
Yeah.
are at play. So we can't say pranas
Yeah.
are sleeping. So only the
Yeah.
Jnanendriyas and the karmendriyas are sleeping.
And the
Pranas and mana.
Mahabhutas.
Yeah,
Mahabhutas,
Mahabhutas.
don't forget. Okay,
Correct,
even though
correct.
they are
Yeah.
being given relatively less importance, but they are also there. Okay. And then,
Apana for the Payu Upastha is not at play, but maybe for exhalation it is at play, but that we call prana. So you can say Apana is not at play.
no. Apana is
It is.
exhalation.
It is.
Apana is exhalation to begin with. First characteristic is that it is an exhalation. So it is very much.
Okay.
Apana is inhalation, right?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Inhalation.
inhalation.
I meant inhalation. Okay.
Inhalation.
Then, so which ones are awake?
The
Mana.
mana and
The
pranas.
mana. The
Correct.
mana and the
pranas.
prana.
Correct. And then which ones are, which one sees the dream?
Mana.
Mana.
Mana. Okay, so we have covered all three questions. Now we will be moving to the next one in the next session. So I'm ending this session. We will start with the next.
And the dream is also about things that have been experienced before or entirely new, unexperienced things.
Yes.
It says
So,
drishtam cha, shrutam cha, ashrutam cha. So probably it imagines
Combination.
things.
It's a combination.
So basically that which you have experienced and that which you have not experienced.
Not
But I will
Yeah.
just add a caveat here that see, when you say not experienced, you will typically not see something which you have never experienced. For example, if a person in the 17th century had to have a dream, they would not dream of a computer. Okay, so our dream does consist of things which we have experienced in some way. So what this is talking about is that that which has not happened to you like this. So a person comes to you in the dream and says, "How are you?" That person may not have come in real life and said it to you, and it may even be a stranger, but it is a person. And most probably that person actually has elements of a person or persons whom you know. So in all said and done, at the base of it, it is things which you have experienced. It is the combination of things which you have not experienced or heard, etc.
Like bit of a AI at play in the night.
Correct. It shuffles things up and shows you things in a very out of the world fashion.
I guess it is what you have not directly experienced.
Yes, correct.
You may have heard about it from somewhere, or
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah, or even
Yeah,
imagine.
but
Or even imagine.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
I'm
even
also
like
thinking
watched in a
maybe-
movie or a play. Like I get dreams about space invasion. So obviously I have never experienced it, but you have thought of it somehow. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just wondering if it is the deeper stack of the memories that it goes to, like where probably it won't have it, because the chit has the impressions of many births, right? Does it go that deeper?
Let's continue in the next session. This one is getting over.
A good way to avoid.
No. We'll start with from here only.
I know. Yeah.